Okay, back after a bit of an absence. I've been feverishly working away on some things in the background, trying to do some updates on how we calculate the impact of venues and teams at venues, basically. Went down the wrong path, came back, found another way, and I've sort of pushed these projections through. But basically now I've got the same thing for disposals, and I might do a video showing the background of that because I'd love to get some feedback on whether some of my logic is right. Um, but what we can basically do is what you're seeing here is all of St Kilda's games. The grey line is the average of all players who play against them, so it's at about 78. The blue are the defenders, purple midfielders, and light blue are the forwards. And then these lines that track across here, and I'll just make it easier for you to see. These lines indicate the impact that St Kilda is having on those teams relative to the expected averages for those teams. So, for example, where this blue line here is up at 35%, what that means is that against Fremantle, their defenders actually averaged 35% more draft stars points than their season average was. So the more time they spend above this yellow line, the the greater that St Kilda is helping them. You can see they've pretty much been above that line every game except for GWS. I've got no idea what happened in that game, why that happened. Could have been wet, possibly. I'll have to check that. But yeah, that's going to allow us to sort of go through the two different teams. I won't do that now. As I said, that's for another video, but I can switch that to Richmond. And we can also look at the way that venue impacts things. Okay, so you can see here that the MCG, a bit of an up and down. It actually, from the look of it, looks to not be so good for defenders. Defenders, which is an interesting thing because both of these teams push up defender averages. So it's going to be a bit of fun when we get to it. So I've done some more updates here. This is there's some funny results here with the values, and that's because guys like or Graham and Martin, for example, here, they're appearing in the value list because they actually play in two different positions. And if Jack Graham plays as I might just find him here. If Jack Graham plays as a midfielder, then his projection is 65, which means he's positive value. If he plays as a forward, he's probably going to get 10 points less, according to my projections, which actually makes him very mediocre value. Similarly for Martin, forward and midfield. In any case, let's try and put a team together. I quickly had a play around before. This is a really hard game. It's really hard to get the money in. So let's start at the defenders first, because they will be the most important players on the field in this particular matchup because of St Kilda. Now, there's a lot of guys I'd like to get here. I'm going to ultimately pick these two guys just because Jaden Short is a bit expensive. I run out of money, effectively. It's as I say, it's really, really challenging. But Floston should be the kind of guy that they ping the ball around to and is a bit of a target. Bolter is my sort of hope and hit. In that hope. I don't know if I want to do that, but we'll come back to it. If I can upgrade him to Short later, I will. But it's just really, really hard to find the money to do it. In the forwards, Owen's a standout here. So he actually is coming back. I think he got injured. He got knocked out, actually, from memory. And so that's probably the game he got knocked out. Nothing, comes back and gets 100. He is easily the best pick in the forwards for me. Dan Butler's the next one. Quite a good price at 9,000. Do not want to be picking Richmond forwards because St Kilda will really depress them. So we're going to pick Butler there and lock that in. The next big challenge comes with the rucks. It's very tricky because you either spend a shitload of money on either Nankervis or what's his name, Marshall. Nankervis being better value than Marshall. So I think Marshall's a definite no pick. It's possible he picked down Curvis. He's in great form. That is a wet game, to be fair, so he probably had 400 tackles. Um, the other guy that's interesting, now this he wouldn't have liked this in the wet. I think he's probably 5 points better than that. So I'm probably going to pick Samson Ryan here and hope that he doesn't play forward too much and get suffocated by the St Kilda defenders with their sort of, with the way they defend. Um, okay, so what do we got? We've got 12,000 left as we enter the midfielders. So this is good unless you plan to pick Tim Taranto, and then you're basically fucked because he's so expensive. Um, like there's an argument to say that he's too expensive to pick here at 17,000. However, I think he should be about 20,000 based on the fact that he's projected at 136 against this team. If he misses and you pick him, you're dead, basically. To be honest, he doesn't have much scope to, I mean, even if he gets at 120, what does he have to do to break even at that thing? Go away, minus 20. So he's got to get 116 to break even. I'm actually not even going to pick him because where's he really going to go? He might get 130, okay, but if he gets shut down, you're dead, and the shit you have to pick around him is a problem. So Camden McIntosh, again, so erratic, very dangerous pick. Shy Bolton, I worry. It depends how much time he spends forward, but he is in great form. He's probably worth a pick, to be honest. Um, he has been playing really, really well lately. Um, Unfortunately, can't get the likes of Rioli or Short in the midfield. I don't expect Jack Graham to spend much time in the midfield. I actually don't even know where he's basically playing nowhere at the moment. Again, that's because it's a wet game and probably got a lot of tackles. 65 is probably a reasonable number for him. Richmond sort of have their full complement of midfielders, so there's not a lot of extra opportunity there, which makes this a really, really tough selection. There's no Richmond players here who are the kind to drop behind the ball. What you want to do is get their sort of real hit-up players if you can, because we are expecting a bump on them. So if we just actually have a look at this, let's just only pick players playing St Kilda. So this is the Richmond midfield. Of these guys, I mean, to be fair, I'm probably going to pick Camden just because I'm going to need the money. But I mean, the issue is that none of them are hit-up midfielders at all. And as you can see here, I'm almost not going to be able to afford Taranto because as soon as I pick him, I've got 7,800 left. Can you even pick a midfielder at that price? In fact, I'm taking on Tim Taranto. I'm not picking him. So it means that we need to go here to the projections and just pick the highest guys. So obviously Brad Crouch's form has been good, real good. Last two games has been good. Sinclair is always good. I think he likes playing the MCG too. What's the price difference? 14,000. We've got 12,000. Basically, I'm gonna have to find someone at around the $10,000 mark, which is almost impossible. This is an incredibly hard game to pick from a salary perspective. I mean, it's just screaming at me. I think you're gonna have to pick him, and hopefully just get some hit up shit. And is that enough for Taranto? No, 500 short. Who's the next best value midfielder after Taranto? Graham, McIntosh, Bolton, already got him. Ross, no, irrelevant. What it might do is it might mean that we pick Jaden Short here. And we've got 11,000 in the midfield now. So what does Richmond sort of level things out there, and St Kilda increase midfielders? You want to get a Richmond midfielder, although that's factored into the value. Um, mm, mm, mm. All right. How much have I got? 11,700. Brad Hill. What's your form like? Brad Hill, 64. Oh, he's not scoring. No, he's not in form. Don't really want to pick him. I wish this game was at Marvel. Seb Ross. Bit so-so. Brad Hill. Jack Ross, Burns. Yeah, there's not a lot here. Okay. I think what I might do is pick Windhager. Leaves me with 2,300 left. I can possibly upgrade Camden McIntosh to 12,180. Dustin Martin. Didn't help much. Oh, it's an ugly team. Very, very challenging. Take you out. 13,000. Give me a low value mid. I've already got both of them. This might be the only way. Sinclair. I reckon he might have a big night against them. Has he got value? Not really. Toronto, but okay. Apparently it's Bolton. 60 short. Okay, how are we going to fix that? Almost impossible to fix that. That can't be fixed unless I pick Grimes. That's a huge risk, but it could be a very bad pick. But you got to hope that, like, look, maybe if I get lucky here, this might work. If Grimes just gets in some of those bullshit chains of kicking backwards and forwards, it will also let me then upgrade somebody else here, like a Jack Graham. Who's got who's got best value in the midfield that I don't have already? At 11,000, Jack Ross. Oof. It's gonna get 60s. I reckon that's high anyway. That's being skewed a bit. Oh, that's because it's St Kilda. Trent Cotchin did play well last week. I'm actually going to possibly. I don't like that. McIntosh. Camden McIntosh or Jack Graham. Jack Graham is a lot cheaper than him. Tim Taranto's already in. Shai Bolton's already in. Follow the sheet. That's the team. I don't know how it's going to go, but we'll find out. Cheers, guys. Good luck. Okay, and through the magic of pausing in an instant, I've just made a couple of changes. I realized I had to do something after I stopped recording. Had to get rid of Dan Butler for Philippou, which let me get rid of Grimes for Bolter, which is a bit of a better option there because he actually might get serious ball, which then let me bring Brad Crouch into the midfield. So that's the team. Good luck.